Hey guys, what is up? Tamasu Dizzle here, back with a Let's Talk, and probably more RL Craft next week. Working on some videos. They'll come out weekly. I'll have a video a week for a while. But anyways, enough about me. On to the topic of the video, which is wow. This is a new animated series created by a YouTuber, which is actually surprising that it was a YouTuber, if I'm gonna be real honest. You don't see YouTubers making or not full-fledged, but like full-fledged pilots of episodes or of series, if that made any sense. Like, when it comes to animation, you're usually at a studio. You don't just make it on the internet because you want to. But that's what I don't script these, that's what Vivzy Pop did with her series Hazbin Hotel, which I just finished the pilot of for the third time because I'm weird and I watched it 3 times. Actually, there are probably some people who've already seen it more than me, but that's okay. I loved it. I love it so much I've watched it 3 times. Yeah. I'm just gonna talk about a bunch of positives because I can't think of something I don't like. Like, I like all the background characters. I like all the main characters. I like all the relationships between all the characters. It took me a little bit to pick up that the main character Charlie was dating, what was it, Vaggie? Yeah, Vaggie. But I got it. I picked up because someone told me in the comments, not comics, the comments. And but I love that. And I love the newscasters. They're great. I love them. I love Cherry Bomb. I like the snake guy. Alistair is great. Yeah, all the characters were great. I loved them all. The concept, which I hope is a full series eventually, because I would buy all the everythings when it comes to merchandise if it becomes a series. Because I mean, I guess they already have merchandise now. So maybe I should go and buy some. But yeah, it was great. I need some merchandise. So I really enjoyed it, if you guys can't tell by me constantly saying that over and over again. But let's start with the concept. So the concept, since it's not a full-fledged series yet, sadly, which I hope it is one day, second time I've said that. I need to stop saying things that I've already said. But basically the daughter of Satan, yeah, or at least the Lord of Hell, who I'm calling Satan until, there's an official name out there. But the daughter of Satan, Princess of Hell, Charlie, kind of, she's the happiest person I've ever seen, period. And she was born in hell. That is some sucky ass existence right there. But that's okay. But like she's all like, oh, I love hell because I was born here. You are my people, stuff like that. Great stuff. Cheery as always. It's awesome, and every year they have like an extermination where they just kill off a bunch of demons, and she doesn't really like that. So she thinks of a better way. Well, what she thinks is a better way, what I also agree is a better way, of rehabilitating sinners through a hotel. Because as she puts it, hotels are for people passing by temporarily because they're going to go to heaven. Yep, you heard it from me, folks. I just ruined the joke. And she's got her supportive girlfriend. Then she's great, but yeah, that's the basic concept. The pilot episode follows these characters as did I say spoiler warning? I probably put it in there post production, but I don't think I've said it yet. So spoilers. But ooh, oh boy. See, I need to start scripting these because then I just don't remember what I'm talking about. But yeah, it follows them. It follows her singing about how she's a failure at first. Then you cut to the news station. They right? Did they? I've seen this 3 times and I don't remember exactly what happened. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Charlie has an interview about about her new passion project, the Happy Hotel, which I've already talked about, and people aren't really catching on, so she sings, and people hate it. And then she explains that she has somebody who's already making great strides of progress. Lo and behold, there's a breaking news report that that same person, Angel Dust, a a a a, 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 a porn actor slash crossdresser, who is awesome, and I love him, is in a genocidal turf war with a character named Cherry Bomb and Snake Guy. I don't know his name. And yeah, Snake Guy is awesome. His design is great. And so you get you get a point in time where Katie Killjoy, the female newscaster, calls Charlie a failure, and then Charlie calls her a bitch after taking her pen. And then you have Tom, who somehow caught on fire. Actually, actually, now that I think about it, there is one thing that I don't like about this pilot, and I'll say it at the end. One single thing. But anyways, as I was saying, Tom catches on fire. You have a great still where you have Cherry Bomb and Angel Dust, Katie and Charlie, the Snake Dude, and Tom. Just a still of all the craziness that's going on. And then you cut to when they're going back to the hotel, and Vaggie gets real pissed off at Angel Dust. It's actually the only thing Vaggie does in this pilot is get mad at people. That is, I mean, okay, she supports Charlie at the beginning, but then after that, it's all anger. And I love it. It was so much fun to watch. There's a point where the camera guy calls Charlie a stupid bitch, and Vaggie just like punches him into oblivion. Vaggie gets real pissed off at Angel Dust. Later on, Vaggie gets real pissed off at the radio demon Alistair. And even during Alistair's song, where he's just kind of low key stealing Charlie's attention, not in that way. Vaggie's just real pissed off throughout the entire song. It is so much fun to watch. I love it. But yeah, and then they get back to the hotel. Charlie calls her mother and says that Dad was right about her. I mean, when isn't Satan right? Obviously, Satan is the best way to go. That's a lie. And then the radio demon comes in. He and Charlie talk, and then it kind of leads into 2 new characters getting introduced: Husk and Nifty, who are great. Great, great. I love them. I love them. They're great. I need a plushie of Nifty because Nifty's great. And Husk is the run of the mill. I'm a drunk alcoholic, take all my money at the gambling table kind of character, and I like it. He's like the front the like bartender and the front desk man person thing, whatever they call those, and it's great. I love it. Yeah, Alistair brings them all in, and he basically sings Charlie's song from the news station again, except with a lot of twists, and probably the best scene in the episode, in my opinion, was him singing, because he put them all in like 30s clothes, and it was awesome, and I wish that's what they look like for the entire series. I get tired of that really fast, actually, so the character designs are way better without the 30s designs. But just all in all, it was a great pilot, and I'm sad that this won't be it's not a full-fledged series, because it should be on television. It is so good. It is really, really good. And it left off on a very foreboding note where Alistair says that the stage is set. He changes the sign of the hotel from Happy Hotel to Hazbin Hotel and says, "Stay tuned." And I'm sad. I hate hearing "stay tuned" because I don't want to stay tuned. I want it next week, like a weekly series. But yeah, Alistair ends the episode off with opening. Uh, I have no idea what he did. He created a hole in the ground where tentacles came out and probably killed the snake guy, and it was awesome. But yeah, that's the basic plot of the first episode. Now on to the characters, the part that I was waiting for. But let's start with. I'll go from least favorite to favorite, and I pick in mind. I'm only doing what I'm assuming will be the main characters if the show ever becomes a reality, which it will. I don't know why I say if, when, is what I should say. But I think so starting from least favorite to favorite, starting with Husk, he's great. I talked a little bit about him. He's not in the episode for that long, but while he's on screen, he brings a lot of laughs. My favorite line from him is when he says he can't be bought by cheap booze, and then he asks Alistair if he thinks that he could be bought with cheap booze, and then he's like, "Well, the answer's yes." I didn't see that coming. It happens all the time, I know, but I thought it was great. I like how he's like supposedly like he welcomes all the wayward souls, as Alistair put, or not as Alistair's Angel Dust puts it, and it's great. And I like him. Um, Next is Nifty. She's also not in the episode as much, but I like her more than Husk for the sole reason of she called Angel Dust a woman. I thought that was hilarious because like I think that just shows how Angel Dust is more of a like he sells his gig very well. And plus, she brought out more laughs in me than Husk did, and she's a very eccentric character, bouncing around everywhere, and her character design is great. The one eye is perfect. I love it. Next, we have Vaggie, who I went on like a minute long rant about how much I liked her, but she's still not that close to my top. I like 3 characters more than her. That's okay. She made top 5. And Vaggie's great. I already talked a lot about how I feel about Vaggie. So, you know how I like Vaggie. And then there's Angel Dust, my third favorite character. Oh man, Angel Dust is great. He was almost my favorite. If it wasn't for Alistair's song at the end, he would be my favorite. But there's 2 characters I like more than him, so you'll see why those 2 characters are above him. But yeah, he was awesome from the minute he was on screen making sex puns and um yeah, just kind of sex puns and insulting people. It was hilarious. I loved him from the minute he appeared on screen. My favorite line from him is where he says, "Don't or tell the missus about me," kisses a guy, and then says "schmuckums." That got me dying immediately, and that was at the beginning of close to the beginning of the episode. And I also like his dynamic with Charlie and Vaggie. He's not there because he wants to be rehabilitated. He's there because he wants a free room to stay in, and I find that awesome. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Angel Dust for now. Next up is actually 2 because I cannot decide who I like more. Uh, uh, there's Charlie and Alistair, the radio demon. Because I love Alistair. He's great. I am a stickler when it comes to the villains. I plan to talk about The Walking Dead like individually by seasons eventually. Um and in that I'm going to go in depth a lot about the villains and why I like the villains that show up. But that I feel really good about um really good. No, I feel very intrigued by the villains of everything, really. I sometimes end up liking villains more than actual protagonists. Um like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. He is my favorite character from the show by far, by miles. no other character in the show compares, in my opinion. And he's the bad guy. Thanos is my favorite Marvel character and villain, and by a long shot. DC wise, it's Joker by a long shot. Tend to like the villains more, not because I am a horrible person. I hope I'm not. That would be very, very embarrassing. I hope. And but like I find them more interesting to talk about for many, many reasons. And I liked Charlie because in the song that Alistair sings, where like he talks about Charlie's dream, and then he talks about how inside of every demon isn't a rainbow, like Charlie says, but a lost cause, and how he's at the hotel because he wants to have fun. The way he puts it is he wants to see people try to redeem themselves and then fail over and over and over again. It is despicable. It is horrible. It is very interesting. And that's why I really like Alistair. And for that same, and like Charlie's kind of like almost the opposite of him, and I really like her too. This is probably the first time not ever, but first time in a while that I've liked the main character the most. Like what a like in My Hero Academia, another show I watch, which you guys have probably heard of. I don't like Deku the most. In fact, I like the side character Sir Night Eye the most, and I used to like Mr. Aizawa the most. But so that's a rare exception, or not a rare exception. A rare exception would be The Walking Dead, where my favorite character is the main character, and I think there are very few shows that are like that for me. I guess Michael Scott, who is arguably the main character of The Office, would also probably be my favorite of The Office. But anyways, back to Hazbin Hotel. This is one of the few times where I like the main character the most. I'm going to tie Alistair and Charlie as first place characters, or as my favorite characters, because I can't pick between them. It's mostly because of the dynamic that has been set up through the song that Alistair sings. The picture I have on screen is them straight up dancing together, and throughout the entire song, Charlie's barely taking any notice to anything else. It's all her attention's on Alistair, despite she knows he's straight up bad and is not there to help people. He is there to purely entertain himself and be a horrible, horrible person. She knows this, and yet all of her attention is still focused on him. And she's smiling too. A lot of the time, throughout the song, it looks like she's enjoying herself a lot. And like I mentioned earlier, Vaggie tries to get Charlie's attention for like a brief moment, but Alistair is just all like, how about no? Get tied up in a ribbon with all the other characters I just talked about. And the way I see what I hope happens, and I doubt if it doesn't happen, it will be bad. I think whatever they do is going to be great. But what I think, what I think is going to how do I explain it? What I think is going to happen between Charlie and Alistair. I think Charlie is going to try and redeem Alistair. I don't think Alistair is necessarily the main villain of the series, but I feel like he will be the first redeemed soul because of how Alistair is. He's kind of trying to take over everything, so he's putting that like divide between Charlie and Vaggie and Angel Dust, and then he's bringing in his own staff to quote unquote help out, like Nifty and what's his name, Husk or whatever. I probably got it wrong this entire review, but that's okay because he's great. But that's what I think is going to happen. Is that like eventually Charlie's going to realize that she's been spending a little bit extra time with Alistair, not in a romantic sense. She's already dating someone, and realize, oh, she's like completely ignored everything else, and that's when Alistair's just kind of be like, oh no, I fucked up. And and I kind of like that idea. I like the idea of Alistair being the first redeemed soul over the first villain more, because I actually do think he intends to help, not for the same reason as everyone else. I mean, I guess he's got the most unique reason. And Baggy's being supportive. Charlie dead ass wants to help people. Angel Dust wants a free room. But then you have Nifty, Husk, and Alistair, who are literally just there for Alistair's entertainment. And I think the rift that he could be causing between Angel Dust, Vaggy, and Charlie could be something really cool. If it doesn't go that way, then I just read into the song way too much. But I'm fine with it. And yeah, and because I have a feeling Charlie will end up redeeming Alistair first, which is a little bit of a shame because I don't want to see him go. Um, I think it'll be because or I think that's a good way to go. Of course, there's plenty of ways to go. I have no idea what they're going to do. That's just my personal predictions. They're out there. So if I'm right, I won't. I don't know what I want. I want something. I want a high five, sure. And so in conclusion, this pilot was a 10 out of 10. I love it to death. I'm gonna go watch it again after uploading this video. And I'm sad that I'm really sad because um how do I explain it? Oh yeah, that this isn't a series yet. This is a really cool concept with talented people behind it, and it deserves recognition. It deserves to be put out there. And I'm also going to buy some merchandise so they have money to put it out there. I want to see this thing made, and I'm willing to pay for it to see it, to see more of it. And yeah, 100% 10 out of 10 all across the board. Story, characters, and that's all I talked about. I Oh, you know what I can talk about actually? The animation. All I got to say is it's great. It is great. Watch it out. Watch it out. Watch it. Just watch the episode. You'll see that everything's super vibrant. Everything moves super fluidly, and it's super colorful. Hell, and they did a great job with it. Like, when I die and if I go to hell, I hope that's my hell because that would be awesome. It looks really awesome. They did something very creative and it paid off and it was really, really good. But yeah, everything is really, really good. It's great. It's really great. I'm just ramping up how I feel about this with every word. 10 out of 10. Go watch it. And as for the thing that I don't like about this, the one thing I don't like about the pilot kind of makes it a 0 out of 10. Unwatchable. Never watch this because of what I'm about to tell you. Why did Tom catch on fire? How was that even possible? He just randomly caught on fire. I'm joking. I love that scene so much. Nope, it's a 10 out of 10. I have no issues with it. If I ever think of negatives, not even something I could say. Yeah, something that is. You know what? No. If I can ever think of something that is less than stellar about the show, I will make another Let's Talk talking about it. But for now, this is great, and I love it. And thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video, which will probably be RL Craft sometime next week.